A massive alien ship hung in our sky, the herald of an empire that had conquered 47 worlds. They gave us their terms. Surrender our resources. Surrender our freedom. Surrender our future. They gave us 30 days to accept slavery or face total annihilation. But they saw only our primitive defenses, our crude ships, our divided governments. They saw exactly what we wanted them to see. What if the primitives you came to conquer had been preparing for you all along? What if their greatest weapon wasn't a ship, but a strategy? This is the story of how Earth's merciless retaliation left the Galactic Council speechless. Before we declassify the full after-action report, be sure to subscribe to this channel and authorize the transmission. The truth of what happened must be heard. Alright, let's access the Chimera file. The recording begins now. The alien ship appeared without warning. Its dark, obsidian hull stretched for miles, a sliver of impossible geometry that cast a shadow over entire cities. On the bridge of his flagship, the Ascendant Blade, Ambassador Kaler looked down at the blue and green marble below. Another primitive world. Another easy conquest. Send the message, he commanded. Within hours, every screen on Earth carried the same transmission. The alien's face was pale blue, his eyes large, black, and unblinking. People of Earth, Kaler began, his tone cold and matter-of-fact. I am Ambassador Kaler of the Galactic Ascendancy. Your world has been evaluated and found suitable for our needs. In an emergency session of the United Nations, President Eva Rostova watched, her face a mask of stone. We offer you a choice, the alien continued. Submit to our authority. Provide 70% of all your resources. Accept our governors to guide your primitive governments. In return, we will allow your species to continue existing. An aide next to Rostova whispered, What's the alternative? As if hearing him, the alien smiled, showing too many sharp teeth. The alternative is complete annihilation. We have obliterated 47 worlds that refused our generous offer. Your nuclear devices are toys compared to our planet crackers. The screen showed images of dead worlds. Barren rocks floating in space. You have 30 of your days to respond, the alien concluded. Use this time wisely. The transmission ended. Chaos erupted. In Geneva, world leaders gathered. Our best estimates suggest their smallest ships could destroy our entire combined fleet, reported General Thompson, head of the Global Military Command. Their shields deflect everything, even a direct nuclear strike. Negotiation? Asked another leader. Dr. Eris Thorne, director of the Advanced Research Division, shook his head. These beings don't negotiate. They dictate. So we have no choice but to surrender? President Volkov slammed his fist on the table. There might be another way, Dr. Thorne said quietly. He activated a secure holographic display. For 15 years, we've been working on Project Chimera. It started after the incident in the Australian outback in 2009. We've had their technology longer than they realize. Our best scientists have been reverse engineering everything. What have you built, Eris? President Rostova asked, leaning forward. Thorne allowed himself a small, grim smile. The kind of breakthroughs that might surprise them. But we need those 30 days. Every single minute. Aboard the Ascendant Blade, Ambassador Kaler reviewed the intelligence reports. The humans were behaving exactly as predicted. Arguing. Panicking. Any signs of organized resistance? Kaler asked his tactical officer. None, Ambassador. Their largest military installations are inactive. No unusual energy signatures. Predictable, Kaler mused, satisfied. His science officer approached. Ambassador, we've detected some unusual metal compositions in their primitive weapons. Should we investigate? Kaler waved a dismissive hand. Unnecessary. Whatever crude alloys they've developed cannot threaten ascendancy technology. Focus on the resource extraction plans. He had no idea that deep beneath the Earth's surface, in shielded facilities his advanced sensors could not detect, an entire planet was preparing for war. In underground bunkers across Siberia, technicians were testing energy systems that combined human ingenuity with alien efficiency. On secret islands in the Pacific, pilots were training in advanced simulators, programmed with captured alien combat data. And deep beneath the Nevada desert, engineers were installing alien-human hybrid power cores into a secret fleet of spacecraft. As the 30-day deadline approached, President Rostova addressed the world, and the waiting alien fleet. After careful consideration, she began, her face a mask of solemn duty. We have concluded that the complexity of transferring 70% of our planet's resources requires extensive logistical planning. We request an additional 45 days to organize the compliance. Ambassador Kaler's mouth curved into a smile. More delays. More weakness. Granted, his voice boomed across Earth's networks. 45 additional days. Use them wisely, humans. What the ambassador could not see were the cold, hard glints of determination in the eyes of humanity's leaders. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility that did not officially exist, Dr. Thorne walked through corridors that hummed with a strange, new power. Report, he said, entering the main research lab. Dr. Yamamoto, his lead physicist, looked up from a device that seemed to bend light around itself. The gravity manipulators are online. The shields are holding at 300% of standard alien output. And the quantum communication array is working. That array was their greatest secret. While the aliens monitored every radio wave, humanity had developed a method of instantaneous, undetectable communication that operated outside normal space-time. Show me the fleet, Thorne requested. A hologram materialized. It showed the truth. Hidden beneath every major city were massive, cavernous shipyards. 147 combat vessels are ready, Yamamoto reported. And the Chimera-class ships, 12 of them are ready. Each one can engage an Ascendancy dreadnought and win. The project began 15 years ago, after an alien probe crashed in the Australian outback. The probe's memory banks had contained star charts, technical specifications, and communication logs. Humanity had been studying their enemy for over a decade. In another part of the facility, Captain Marcus Kane briefed his wing commanders. Remember, he said, pointing to the tactical display. The Vorthic pilots are overconfident. They've never faced an opponent who could match their technology. They expect us to run. What's our advantage, Captain? Asked Squadron Leader Park. We're unpredictable, Kane replied with a grim smile. They fight a logical war. We're going to do something they've never encountered before. He paused. We're going to attack. Another breakthrough had come just weeks ago. When the alien fleet positioned itself, they automatically synchronized with Earth's gravitational beacons. Human technicians had hacked those beacons within hours. The Ascendancy fleet was now broadcasting its exact position, course, and speed directly to human computers. They were providing targeting data to their own victims. While this was happening, a dormant virus, designed by Earth's best cyber warfare specialists, was spreading through the alien fleet's internal network, waiting for the signal to activate. The countdown continued. 5 days, 4-3. The final day arrived. Ambassador Kaler stood on his observation deck, ready to receive humanity's surrender. President Rostova appeared on his main screen. But she was different. The worried expression was gone. In its place was a look of cold, sharp determination. Ambassador Kaler, she began. We have prepared our response to your ultimatum. Kaler leaned forward, a smug smile on his face. Our answer is no. The smile vanished. Excuse me? We reject your demands, Rostova continued, her voice like ice. We reject your authority, and we reject your threats. Earth will remain free. Furthermore, we demand that you withdraw your fleet from our solar system immediately. You have 1 hour. The alien's tactical officer stammered. Ambassador, they cannot possibly. He was cut off by alarms screaming throughout the ship. SIR, the sensor operator shouted. Massive energy signatures. Multiple contacts emerging from everywhere. The main display changed. Space around Earth was no longer empty. Ships were appearing from behind asteroids, from the surfaces of moons. Hundreds of them. How? Kaler demanded. His answer came in the form of a human vessel emerging from behind Earth's moon. A behemoth twice the size of his own flagship. On the BR. Edge of the UHS Chimera, Captain Marcus Kane gave his first order. Communications. Open a channel to the alien flagship. Kaler's screen filled with the human's face. I am Captain Kane of the United Human Space Fleet, the man said calmly. You are trespassing. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences. Human. Kaler found his voice. You cannot threaten us. Our shields are impenetrable. Kane smiled. A cold, dangerous expression. Your shields are impenetrable to the weapons you know about. We've had 15 years to improve on your designs. He made a small gesture, and Kaler's ship shuddered violently. That was a warning shot. Kane's voice explained calmly through the chaos. From our smallest escort vessel. Our main guns are significantly more impressive. Would you like a demonstration? The battle for Earth began. Begin Operation Chimera, Captain Kane ordered. Squadron Leader Park's interceptor-class fighter Dove towards a Vorthic destroyer. Her first missile wasn't a weapon of brute force. It was a thinking weapon. Its onboard AI analyzed the enemy's shield frequency in real time, reconfigured itself, and passed through the impenetrable barrier as if it wasn't there. The shield generator exploded. Fox 2, Park announced, launching her second missile. This one analyzed the ship's armor composition and transformed its warhead into a focused plasma cutter. The Vorthic destroyer tore apart like paper. The human fleet, which looked crude and primitive, was systematically dismantling the most powerful fleet the galaxy had ever seen. Initiate Phase 2. Came the order from Admiral Vasquez, coordinating the battle from a hidden command ship. The dormant virus in the Ascendancy fleet's network activated. Suddenly, every alien ship was isolated. Blind. Their greatest advantage, their ability to operate as a unified fleet, was gone. The human ships then did the unthinkable. They feigned a retreat. They're running. Kaler shouted, a surge of relief washing over him. All ships, pursue and destroy. But his fleet was in chaos, unable to coordinate. As they broke formation, the human ships reversed course and transformed. Stealth systems deactivated, revealing their true size and armament. Weapon pods, hidden in folded space, unfolded like deadly flowers. The UHS Chimera itself split open, revealing massive gun batteries and launching secondary vessels, each the size of an alien cruiser. My God, Kaler whispered, finally understanding. They've been hiding this entire time. Human forces began broadcasting on alien channels, but they weren't sending threats. They were sending signals tailored to exploit the deep-seated cultural fears of each specific species in the fleet. The Vorthic, who prized honor, were sent falsified data showing their allies retreating in cowardice. The Ziri, a hive-minded species, were flooded with sonic patterns that mimicked the death screams of their queens. The alien fleet's command structure completely collapsed. Ships began firing on each other or fleeing in panic. Sir, a communications officer reported, we're receiving surrender requests. Denied. Captain Kane's voice echoed across the human fleet. They offered us no quarter. We returned the favor. Ambassador Kaler, his fleet in ruins, tried to retreat. He found his flagship surrounded. Going somewhere, Ambassador? Captain Kane's voice asked. Tractor beams locked onto his hull. The humans weren't destroying his ship. They were capturing it. You cannot do this. Kaler protested. I am a diplomatic representative. There are protocols. There were protocols, Kane's voice replied, cold as the void. You violated them when you threatened genocide. Consider yourself a prisoner of war. The news of the devastating, one-sided defeat sent shockwaves through the Galactic Ascendancy. An emergency council was convened. They were terrified, confused, outraged. They made the decision Kaler had made. The decision every arrogant empire makes when faced with a humiliation it cannot comprehend. They chose escalation. A massive invasion fleet was assembled. Over 200 ships from all 12 member species. Their mission, not subjugation, but extermination. In her command center, Admiral Vasquez watched the alien fleet massing. They're making the mistake we hoped they would, Dr. Thorne said, pointing to a star map. They are pulling ships from their patrol routes. Their home systems are being left with minimal defenses. Their supply lines are completely exposed. You're talking about taking the war to them, Vasquez said. I'm talking about showing them what human warfare really looks like, Thorne replied. They think this is about conquering Earth. We need to make them understand. This is about survival. And when humans fight for survival, we don't follow anyone else's rules. Human stealth ships had already been dispatched. They began a campaign of galaxy-wide guerrilla warfare. They didn't hit fleets. They hit supply convoys, planting false evidence to make Ascendancy members suspect each other. They hit trading posts and mining operations, causing economic chaos. They used social engineering and cyber warfare to alter financial records, modify trade agreements, and break alliances. The unified invasion fleet began to fragment before it even reached human space. When the massive fleet, led by the veteran Admiral Zarek, finally arrived at Earth's solar system, he received urgent messages from across Ascendancy territory. Human forces were attacking targets in 12 different star systems simultaneously. "This is impossible," Zarek roared. "How can they be attacking our home systems while we're attacking theirs?" Admiral Vasquez opened a channel. "Admiral Zarek," she said calmly. "Welcome. Before you begin your attack, I thought you might want to see the current status of your territory." The screen in Zarek's command center lit up with real-time footage. Human forces were destroying infrastructure, capturing ships, and causing chaos throughout every Ascendancy member's home worlds. "You have a choice," Vasquez continued. "You can attack Earth and win a battle while losing the war, or you can withdraw and negotiate a peaceful solution." Zarek, desperate and enraged, chose to attack. But as his fleet approached Earth's inner defenses, they discovered one last, terrible surprise. The planet wasn't there. "Admiral," his navigation officer reported in confusion. "I'm detecting massive energy signatures, but the planet seems to have moved." It was a hologram. A massive, planet-sized cloaking field, reverse-engineered from captured alien ships. "Admiral Zarek," Vasquez's voice came again. "I believe you're looking for this." The hologram vanished, revealing the true Earth. Peaceful, with minimal orbital defenses. And then, space around the Ascendancy fleet began to fill with ships. Thousands of them. Ordinary civilian spacecraft. Cargo haulers. Passenger transports. Mining ships. Every human vessel in the solar system. Each one armed with basic weapons. Each one part of the network. "This is what you never understood," Vasquez said. "You think of war as something soldiers do. But when you threaten our species' survival, every human becomes a soldier." Zarek looked at his tactical displays in growing horror. His powerful warships were surrounded by thousands of smaller vessels, each one a potential suicide bomber. But the real shock came last. "Admiral, before you make any decisions, there's something else you should know," Vasquez said. New contacts appeared on every Ascendancy sensor. Human fleets. Massive battle fleets. Larger than anything the aliens had seen during the entire war. They were in orbit around the home systems of all 12 Ascendancy species. Simultaneously. "These are not the raiding forces you've been fighting," Vasquez explained calmly. "These are our main battle fleets. While you've been focused on conquering Earth, we've been preparing to end this war. Permanently." Admiral Zarek finally understood. The invasion of Earth had not been the main battle. It had been a distraction. A trap. "What do you want?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. "Recognition of Earth's independence," Vasquez replied. "Withdrawal of all your forces. And a formal treaty. If you refuse, then tomorrow, every Ascendancy home world will learn what Earth learned when you first arrived. That there are species in this galaxy that do not accept surrender as an option." The transmission ended. The Galactic Ascendancy, rulers of thousands of worlds, had awakened something far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. They had not just lost a battle. They had lost the war before they even knew it had truly begun.